Alright, so today we're going to be starting with drawing pencils. And there are various hardnesses and softnesses of your lead. The middle one is HB, it has an HB written on it. And that's about, it's not really hard and it's not really soft, it's just the average. And that's what its line looks like. As we go over to 2H, 2H is a harder lead. Whenever there's a number in H, that means it's hard. 2 is, that's its line. So it's not as easy to see, and so it's harder to see, and it is a harder lead. Let's see. 4H is our next one. Our next one. The harder the lead. So 6H is your hardest lead, and 2H is hard, but it's not the hardest one. Now there's B's, which are soft. I have a 4B here. 4B, and that's pretty soft. And when it's soft, it means the line it makes is going to be darker. And again, just like the hard ones, as the number goes up with the soft pencils, the softness goes up too. It's even softer. Easier to put down a line, and the line. So for our sketchbook homework, if you have your sketchbook, you're going to have the picture of yourself on one page and the picture of somebody else on the other page. And how we're going to put it down is we're just going to sleep it. Make sure that you tape it down so that the face is facing the rest of the page and not the other way around. Otherwise you don't have anything to draw. Don't tape along this edge because you can't mark over tape with your pencil. There you go. Now we're doing a mirror image, so that means that if she had a part in her hair right here, I would have to put the part here. I'm not going to draw what I can't see over here. I'm just going to reflect this side over. Okay? So it's not going to be a whole face. It's going to be this face reflected. Okay? I'm going to be starting out with my HB pencil. That's what I like to do. I will go in with a darker pencil and after I get some things laid out. Now we have to make sure that you're not drawing lines where there aren't any lines. So if I drew, I said, oh, her nose is here, that's her nose. That's line, is that over here? No, it's not, so that's not a good place. There isn't a line there. There are very few lines in faces, and there are especially few lines in teenagers' faces because you're not all old and wrinkled yet. Okay, so there is a line where her lips meet, so I could meet that. I'm just going to go across, and I'm going to measure. I'm going to say the end of my pencil and where my fingernail is how far her lip goes out. And if I put it on the other side, where that is, that's where her lip ends. So that's a great way to figure out where and how far apart things should be, how big they should be. So I've got that, and I'm just going to continue her lip up and over. And I'm going to be putting in shapes of shadows. I'm not going to be putting in lines. Okay, there's some shadow up here. I see her nostril is a great shape. I'll put that in. Opposite. Okay. And let's see. Gets a little darker here. So I'm going to do that on this side. Right here. Okay. How far away is her eye from the middle of the page? About there. So that's where I'm going to put it. Then I'll start putting the eye in. Now when I make her eyeball, I don't see a whole circle there. That's not a whole circle. I can't see all of that.
I'm shaking the camera all over the place.
Maybe it was hard. Okay, so I'm going to put that in.
This one's down.
Okay. And then I'm going to put the shadows in that I see on the other side. And there is a line here, so I'm definitely going to leave that line in. It's not quite there. Okay, so, and I'm going to move on to my 4B pencil, because that's a little softer and it's easier for doing big shading areas. Now there's a shadow there, shadow here. I forgot her eyebrows, I would see that. And it's darker under her eyes. And now one great thing about drawing pencils is they're really easy to blend together, and we're going to be using this. It's called a blending stick or a smudge stick. I'm sure it has many other names, those are the two I know it by. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run it over the lines I have and kind of blend one dark area into the light. We'll see how that makes a much smoother line. Okay. I see that the shadow goes up over here, so I'm going to smudge up into that area so I don't have to put pencil marks everywhere where I want it to get darker. Okay, just keep going. Yours is going to be looking a lot better because you're not going to be talking while you're doing this, and you're going to be putting more time into this. But just what we're looking for when we grade this are your shading, how well shaded it is, if you've mirrored the image instead of just drawing what you think would be on this side of the photograph. You're drawing a mirrored image. Let's see the nose of it somehow. And you're going to go in and do some hair work. Let's see. Oh, I made a mistake. I was going to draw what I thought should be there, not what is there. So this line goes out, so I'm going to have it go out on my side. Okay, if there's ever a line, just take that line and go back to where it came from, on the opposite side. And how big is her head then? So that would be helpful. Okay, so that's where it should stop. Okay. This is enough.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so when you're doing your lips, a lot of people will just shade it in and make it darker than the rest of your face. And that's really not what's going on when you're doing lips. Lips, it's dark where your lips close, so I put that in a little. And I can see that some places it will go up and down where there are those little creases in your lips. So I'm going to put some of that in. Okay. At the bottom of the lip, it is a little darker, so I'm going to do that. And it gets darker up here and here. There's a little bit of a highlight right there, so I don't want to get any shading in there. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my blending tool. Still looking good.